Well, hello and good afternoon. Hello to all of the eXp'ers out there. Hello to all of my fellow agent attractors. And once again, hello to all of the future eXp agents. Now, my name is Brian Rouseau, and this is episode 9 of Agent Attraction Conversations. Now, in today's conversation, I am going to share with you all, just briefly, my experience at the eXp Shareholders Summit held in sunny Orlando, Florida this past week. I just want to take a moment to share my just gratitude and enthusiasm for this type of event that eXp puts on, and share with you all the significance, because I've got a very broad, very wide viewership. That viewership consists of course, existing eXp agents, also real estate professionals, so non-eXp real estate agents, and then of course my client viewership that tunes into my social media channels. Now, just to level set with everyone, eXp has a great business model. We like to call ourselves agent owners, large in part because the agents are awarded stock for closing transactions, reaching certain production levels, bringing other or inviting other agents to eXp, things of that nature. And we also have a stock awards program, an equity program, I should say. So our equity program is more or less, purchasing eXp at a great discount. Just mind-blowing. So all that's important at a shareholder summit, because we all have a vested interest. So getting to these events, learning the State of the Union, it's just great. The accessibility of leadership, board members everywhere you turn. Our brokerage model is very unique because we don't have siloed offices every 5 or 10 miles. We've got state brokers, and we've got broker supervisors that support them. And just to have those high-level touch points, everybody's super friendly, super accessible, and I love it. I want to take also another moment to make some special acknowledgments to people that I bumped into and had great conversations with, that I've interacted with but never met in person. Michael Collier of Orlando, Florida, a great ambassador to his city, and for me, to that event. Dwayne Hirsch in Chicago, Kathy Austin, Fee Gentry, Elgin Walker, great relationship building moments. Sorry that I wasn't able to hang out with you guys the whole time, of course, but other wonderful relationships built, but I wanted to give you guys a quick shout out. Now, I took some notes because I wanted to share with you all some great takeaways. I didn't want to miss anything, and I'm not going to fake it. So just bear with me as I grab these great speaking moments. Now, for me, I'm going to do the hard stuff first, go through some of the numbers that aren't boring, but they're numbers, right? So we'll talk about more than numbers in just a moment. But for me, some of the quick takeaways that I had was, from an agent attraction perspective, we hear all the time, eXp, they're full of other agents who want to participate in the revenue share model, which is a great source of passive income, if you will. Once you invite somebody and, their life is changed by eXp, you're financially rewarded. And, one of the rebuttals, I guess we'll say, that people throw out there when we talk about the greatness of eXp is, well, everyone is recruiting. Who's actually producing at eXp, or what are the caliber of the agents that are going to eXp? And I want to share a few numbers with you guys in that vein. Now, at the Shareholder Summit, we talked about the transaction side closed from 2017 to 2018, that was a 195% increase, guys. Significant. Let me give you some numbers. So we increased from just over $25,000 transactions in 2017 to just under 75,000. And for a company that has grown significantly, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Not only are we growing, but we are growing at a tremendous clip from the production standpoint as well. So we're attracting the right people. More than that, the volume had increased by 226%. Super, super cool. And again, we're talking numbers. I don't want to lose anybody, so just bear with me. I'm almost done here with the numbers. We went from 6.1 billion in volume in 2017 to 19.8 billion. That's huge. That's huge. Again, 226% growth. I just think that's phenomenal. And numbers don't lie. We can easily dispel, some of the objections that are really generated out of fear. Now, what I really took away was just the structure and how we're nimble and we're growing and changing. I spoke briefly about the leadership accessibility, and we highlighted the fact that eXp, our model is totally different. We've got regional leadership from a brokerage perspective on the West Coast, on the East Coast, in central United States. I think that that's huge because as we're growing so aggressively, it's great to have manageable teams from a leadership perspective that are there to support. And we broke that down even further into, state teams. And I think that this is important because, to have one, if you know anything about eXp or if you don't, we've got a large virtual platform in which all of the support that you would normally get from a brick and mortar office, we have that available to us in a cloud-based environment. Super efficient, and we found a way to make it even more efficient by breaking things down by state, breaking things down like, the onboarding process, payment processing, you name it, you're interacting with your broker team. All of that is being housed within our virtual platform, and it is being managed at the state level. So that just, in my opinion, creates better efficiency, which is huge for a company that's growing as fast as we are. We just want to not only grow, but we want to stay nimble and effective. Now, I also, since we're talking a lot about growth, we spoke about like our transactions, we spoke about our monetary volume. The agent count of eXp has also grown remarkably. So last year we grew by 139%. Now, one might argue, okay, great, you guys weren't huge to begin with, but it's still growth. It's still tremendous growth in a very short amount of time. A lot of our competitors, if they're growing at all, they're growing by 1%, 3%, 4%. There was a huge slide that attacked that or addressed that directly. And, when I tell you that the competitors that we chose to highlight, we didn't name names, but these were the larger brokerages, that have a huge share in the marketplace. They're not really growing. They're staying stagnant, but they're kind of shrinking. So very, very, very important to acknowledge, we're doing big things here at eXp. Those are some of the numbers. And I wanted to speak very briefly about some of the cultural things that I think are super, super important. Now, for me, again, I got my list. So for me, I wanted to speak about VirBELA. And when you talk about, and that's a virtual platform, guys. So VirBELA is really the disruptive technology that is separating eXp more than the revenue share model, more than the stock awards. We're able to do all of those things primarily because we've got a great platform that eliminates a lot of our overhead. Our visionary leader, Glenn Sanford, our founder, this guy is incredible. I like his genius because he saw a need in the real estate space, and that's why he created eXp, but he's now transferring this and marketing this technology to other lines of business. So as an example, the Stanford School of Business is, potentially utilizing the VirBELA platform. And imagine from an academic perspective, you've got people from all over the world, now able to leverage classrooms or leverage meeting rooms or anything in these virtual spaces. Super, super heavy. And when I tell you it's a big deal, it's not only a big deal because we're pushing a platform that we own, but think about what that might do to the stock. Okay, so if you're a shareholder, if you have a vested interest in eXp, that's big time. That's big time. Now those leaders or those students eventually become leaders, and in my personal opinion, it's just a matter of time. If it doesn't happen in the next 2 or 3 years, in a short amount of time, certainly in 10, I would imagine, a lot more people are going to start working from home. And this platform VirBELA, as we continue to flesh it out and find success with it, that could significantly, again, raise the bar, and for eXp to be at the forefront, of that, I just think it's incredible. So that's just my 2 cents. So we spoke a little bit about VirBELA and what's going on in the next 6 years. There were a few important, again, cultural updates that I wanted to share with you all. So the first thing is, eXp, we got our start as a residential brokerage. We have commercial agents, but we are now branding ourselves and have a division for eXp Commercial. That's huge. To give those guys, I've got a great set of friends working in the commercial space. Robert Creamer out here in the North Texas and Central Texas areas. They're running things as they see fit, but to have that support and specific branding, I think it's great. It's just another step in the right direction for eXp, and I love it. Past the operations piece, there is a new initiative called I Heart eXp, in which eXp shows love to local communities, and we give them any type of support that they need. And I'll tell you that being with a company, if you know me, I'm a big time volunteer, servant, and to be a part of an organization that makes that a priority, there's nothing better. So I Heart eXp, if you're a current eXPer, please keep an eye out for it, ask about it, go to your local chat rooms. We'll get that in front of you so you can participate as quickly as possible. And there's 2 more things left. So I know it's a long one, but eXpCon. So that's another cultural event that we have here. So our eXp conference is great, very similar vibe. You have an opportunity to get to know the leadership, to kind of understand where we're headed. Those things are huge. So when I tell you, make it a priority if you can to get to eXpCon, please do so. Please do so, current eXpers. Glenn and the leadership team, they've made it extremely easy and desirable. So we'll be in Las Vegas, Nevada for eXpCon, October the 2nd through October the 4th, 2019. The conference will be held at the MGM Grand, and the stay, guys, this is what really got me. They've got it for us for $108 per night. 108. Now, if you've been to Vegas before, you might get a break on a room from time to time, but this is ridiculous. Like, make it a priority if you can. We've got several months to do it. I'd love to see you there. Please visit eXpCon, that's eXpCon 2019.com. All right, so take a look out for those great stays. And finally, as you all know, one of our marketing moments when we officially joined the NASDAQ was when one of our competitors, a big red one, compared our virtual platform to the old Donkey Kong game. So we've taken that, our founder Glenn Sanford has taken that, and he always says it's on like Donkey Kong. And he was surprised. We had a huge person get into a Donkey Kong suit and get on stage with Glenn and party with him a little bit. And Glenn can dance, guys. For those of you who don't know, there's a dance out there called flossing, and Glenn did a wonderful job. So I wanted to put that out there finally and say, hey, it was a great time. It's a great environment, great leadership. Please make it a priority to get to the next event, and I hope to see you all soon. Take care.